What's good? We back, man. I was thinking pod. Me? I've been alright. I've been alright, man. Just taking the new year in. I'm in Los Angeles, so we had to deal with the fires, um, the fires, and massive layoffs, um, and then just normal everyday things. Rent was due, you know. People were still requesting money. Um, but yeah, that's just what it is, man. That's what it is. The game don't stop for nothing. Not a fire, not a nothing. My heart goes out to the people of Altadena, one of the um, first thriving black, multicultural, multiracial um, neighborhoods in America. Um, not in America's history, but one of the last, I would say, I don't know, just one of them, because I don't want to neglect the history of like Rosewood, Greenwood, all the woods, and any other black town that was lost due to white supremacy or anything else of that nature, or maybe had a freeway built through it. So, um, yeah, shouts out to Altadena, and my heart goes out to the victims of the fires. Altadena, my heart goes out to the victims in the Palisades too. Um, um, I got word that insurance is kicking in for some people, so that's good. Um, but yeah, prayers up to everybody. Prayers up to everybody. Nobody is more important than the other one. Um, yeah, man. I didn't want to come off insensitive, even though I did. It's too late. Anyway, forgive me. You know, sometimes it's just good to admit when you're wrong, man. Just just come out and say it. It's like, oh, oh, I fucked up, whatever, and then move on. Then people can't say that you didn't at least attempt to, pull an audible and fix it. I think that's what Drake needs to take a page out of. Just say, I messed up. That was a bad decision. I should have did this quietly. I should have. I don't know. I should have went and talked to them, or I should have tried another method. I should have really thought this out. But that was his choice. We'll get to him later on in the podcast. Um, but yeah, Cali fire the fires. Yeah, man, I was working in Santa Monica, saw them rising. Uh, they were all over the place, man. It was crazy. Um, Ashes was flying everywhere, so that's why the N95 mask came back out. Me, I was free balling it. I was not about to go back in that mask after being in the mask for a whole year. I just wasn't about to do it. I was like, shit, fuck it. If the ash is gonna take me out, the ash is gonna take me out, man. I'm finished. Um, but yeah, people started bringing back the mask. California really showed out and stepped up, um, and really came out and donated and helped, even if some of the even if some of the help was to network. Hey, that shit is funny, man. I'm happy that people were doing the right thing, even if it was on insensitive initiative. You know, um, you see people that have influence suffering. You come out of nowhere, lend a helping hand, get past them a water bottle, or help out. A lot of people's doing that, man. I was like, yo, You know they laying people off, right? Shouldn't he be looking for another job or to this actor guy I know? Shouldn't he be looking for a job or working extra hours to make sure that you have your rent and everything? California is very expensive, bro. Niggas working on the script, I guess. Nigga decided to go help pass out some stuff and do some things. And I'm like, yo, that's very commendable, man. Um, I firmly believe helping people, but if you don't really got anything to offer up to help, then just send your prayers, man. Cause look at Africa. I want to help Africa. I can't do it. Send prayers, man. You know what I mean? Because I think doing things out of with foul intent behind them or with ulterior motives to look like you're helping out or showing love is whack. Because if, like, it just be whack when I see people do stuff that ain't the kindness of their heart. You know what I mean? And genuine. Like, just to post on the gram or just to say you did it, might as well not even do it, brother. But I digress, man. That's what's been happening. The fires are calming down. But people are still inside the house. They're not really coming out like that. Yeah, man, people have really been, the good thing though is people have still been, beyond the false sincerities, people have been supporting each other and lining up and helping each other, which is great. You know what I mean? Yeah, beyond that, the world turns. There ain't really nothing good on TV right now. I just finished that show, The Jackal. The Jackal was fire. I love all the original Jackals, so I had to check this one out. And the new Jackal is great. I just hate. I didn't really hate it, but I find it that it's a. But I found that it's becoming a trend where, not only Disney is doing it, but all these different DC's doing it. All these different companies that are in media, they're doing the background of the villain and trying to make the villain more understandable. And I'm like, is it a coincidence that most of the villains are just so happen to be Caucasian? Is that why we're digging deep to try to make them more understanding or more likable or more you lean towards them more? Because you look at the you look at the villain Agatha all along, she was the villain the whole time. She was killing everybody and people were like, I love this show. Then they did with Star Wars. Star Wars, they made the acolyte, the main character who was a Jedi, a villain. And then the other one, a Jedi. Like, it was a weird thing happening. That's why that show failed. But now it's a weird thing where we're like interested in the backstory of the villain. I remember back in the day when you used to watch movies, the villain was just the villain. We didn't care. We didn't rationalize them being evil or them doing things that were negative. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing, like even with the new Batman, they made the villain like a radical crazy person. The Riddler was against the government and some higher power ish. Like, I like when they just had the Joker. The Joker was just the villain. They didn't have no story. They was like, who is this guy? A mystery evil was fire. Like, when you start trying to add like extra context to evil or explain evil or try to find the heart of evil, that'd be making it hard to extinguish the the fire, man. You know what I mean? Not every story it has a not every person that's like murdering people is doing it out of some kind of hurt reason. I know hurt people, but sometimes people get out of control because even if you're hurt the person that hurt you. Don't go around hurting nations of people. Like I just don't get it. Like go after the people that literally did something directly to you and then get with them. You know what I mean? That's just like when I hear about people hacking and stealing from people that don't got no money. Why you gonna steal from them, man? Go steal from one of these billionaires. There's like a lot of them. There's 1,000 of them. You know how much 1,000 people is? There's like 1,000 plus billionaires. Go rob them. They ain't gonna. It's gonna take them a long time to figure out that you just stole like $5 million from them. They don't count it every day. I'm telling you. But yeah, I don't like that part of the concept where they're really trying to dive into the villains and the psyche of the villains. But I think what it is because more people are into media. More people are watching TV because we're not going out as much. We're not doing outside activities. So a lot of people are tuning in for TV shows and streaming platforms and different things of that nature. And we've indulged in so many movies that now you got to make it more interesting by introducing new concepts like the background of the villain or the person that is the person that's going to be doing all the bad things in the movie, and you got to try to make us understand their background, and then make it hard for us to choose between the hero and the villain at the end of the show, like invoke some new emotion or something. But yeah, I understand like people looking for new aspects to be interested in when watching TV shows because TV shows, movies, they've become massively predictable due to the fact that we've indulged in so many movies, and more movies than ever before are coming out because people are independently making movies. You got sites like Tubi, YouTube, some of these server sites where they're basically letting people put up movies and then doing their own pay-per-view situation on there where you can go watch another person's movie that they have not released to a streaming platform where the money is going directly to their pocket and different things of that nature. And people got their own websites. So because it's a direct and consumer thing, it's more people doing it, more movies coming out. Now the quality of a lot of projects have lowered because there's so many of them and people are not focused on solely on one project or solely on these few projects dropping this year. So now that there's a lot of projects, people are seeing the same stories over and over because a lot of people know how to write, and then people are also writing for one network and then writing for another one and selling the same story twice. But with different actors. It's crazy. That is going on. And then you got Chat GPT. You got the AI cooking up scripts that have already existed, cooking up scenarios that are predictable because that's the only thing it knows, because people are literally feeding scripts from old shows and old movies into the machine. So yeah, man, that's what's happening. That's why you can't really get nothing, and that's why people like M. Night Shyamalan are getting so much support because M. Night, he's always had unpredictable endings. His shows, his movies, they've always went left. Now back in the day, we was upset about it because we'd be like, man, that ending sucked. But now we appreciate it even more because it's not the ending that we was expecting. It's not what we was looking for, which is good now because every ending is damn near the same. So yeah, man. Um, to bring back my original point, I like the Jackal. It did that. That was the only thing I was a little annoyed with, but they did it right. They had some funding, so they didn't. And the original movie was following the Jackal, but they were also following Richard Gere, who was the hero in the Jackal before the first one. There's one that they did way back in the '60s, I believe, or '60s or '70s. The Jackal, and yeah, it's the same concept. You got a assassin who is about to do some very bad stuff, and people are like, "Yo, we need to stop this guy." This is the first one though that's been a series show, to my knowledge, and not a movie. And it's the first one where you get to see the Jackal's background and see that he has a wife and kids who are keeping letting him have some sort of humanity. You know what I mean? Same thing that was in the Penguin. I like the Penguin. Penguin's a great show too because it also showcased uh, him getting rid of his humanity too. He actually chose to get rid of his humanity. Spoiler alert! By killing somebody close to him at the end, versus the Jackal, who, spoiler alert, his just leaves him. You know what I mean? But ultimately, great shows, great writing. I loved both shows. They were awesome. They were a breath of fresh air this year. Um, yeah, man. Um, as far as like in music, Kendrick continues to do a victory lap. Uh, SZA's been controlling the airwaves. Um, People are complaining about Lil Baby's latest release. It's not really been any word on it, but the album is selling, so it's getting attention. It's supposed to do high numbers next week again, in the second week, and then you got Bad Bunny who came through and did his thing once again. So um, he's rapping for the Puerto Ricans and he's killing it off. So shouts out to both of those guys for making money and doing their thing. Um, what else? Oh, Drake. Yeah, Drake. Drake's going out sad, man. He he's really doing his lawsuit thing, man. He took back the petition, and he's doing a lawsuit thing. So looks like they're gonna be going to court. And yeah, I don't know if he I don't know if he even cares what's happening or what the people think. You know what I mean? I don't know what he expects out of this battle. This battle between him and the labels. I don't think that he's gonna come out victorious on this one. I don't think this was a well thought out move because yeah, man, those guys don't play fair, man. They don't play fair, man. And I know you got some Jewish in you, so you might come out of this one with a Hail Mary, but they always get their man, man. It's been proven. Everybody that thought they beat the labels always got cooked in the end, man. The only people who didn't get cooked were the people who didn't get in bed with them fully in the first place. Shouts out to shouts out to E40 and everybody in the Bay Area that's been killing it without dealing with the labels and is dealing with them as little as possible so they can't so no mysterious things that happen to them. Shouts out to what's my guy's name? Um, he's one of the head guys of Strange Music. Oh, Tech Nine. Shouts out to Tech Nine, man. He's independent king, man. He caters to his audience, and that's it. And you don't even got to hear no weird stuff about him. He ain't doing no weird things. Catering to his audience, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's beautiful. I love seeing a person get money and not have to be weird and not be thirsty so much to the point where they're doing things that compromise their character and who they are as a person. I love seeing people like Kanye West um, establish their own independence and do their thing. But the catch is, man, the issue is that now with those guys being a great example, everybody's independent. Everybody's trying to do direct to consumer. Everybody is so fashion is suffering. Music looks like it's suffering, but they're not really suffering. It's just that people are fighting for attention. They're fighting for attention. They're fighting for dollars. It's not a thing where everybody is moving in one direction. Everybody's everywhere. You know what I mean? You got 50 Cent got his own streaming service coming out. You got Dame Dash got his own streaming service coming out. Everybody's everything. You know what I mean? So now this is the day and age. We're moving into the day and age because it's so easy to become everything. You just gotta find people that like what you're doing, find that group, cater to that group, and diversify your funds, man. And there's many financial books out there and financial podcasts that teach you how to diversify so you won't be solely thinking you can make money off of entertainment or YouTube or whatever, because where everything has TikTok has died, but the spirit of TikTok is in everything. You put out something, somebody's gonna steal it. You put out you create a clothing line, somebody's gonna gonna bite it. You put out some music, somebody's gonna bite that. You put out some imagery, somebody's gonna bite that. The only way they're not gonna bite is if they can't sing. But then you got all those different programs that make people sound good, that even though they can't sing. So there ain't no escaping the bite. So yeah, man, you a comedian, somebody gonna steal your jokes. That's bigger than you. That's where we at. You an actor, somebody gonna try to look like you and act just like you. And since Denzel's on his way out, you know how many Denzel clones there are? It's a lot of them. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're in a time where it's easy to do it. All you need to do is just do it and figure out how to gain and retain your audience and supply them, and don't worry about the people who ain't checking in. And that's it, because everybody's capable, everybody's doing it. People are getting laid off, so they're all coming in and doing it. And like, okay, prime example, Elliot Wilson, he's a journalist. He said that journalism is dying. It was like, Cameron's not a journalist. Okay, what is a journalist? A journalist was defined as somebody who writes up stories, connects with the source, gathers up everything, puts it in one publication so you can read and understand what's happening out in the streets. They report the news. But what if you got the news from the source and of the people they had access to? So now you got, instead of somebody asking Cameron and putting it in a sports magazine about how Cameron feels because Cameron's giving out creative and funny angles, now Cameron just does it himself on his own podcast that's generating millions. So they don't need to talk to Elliot Wilson no more. Elliot Wilson didn't build up an audience. Obviously, that's why he's mad that journalism is dying, because now People aren't forced to go to him for the information. Now all they got to do is just go to the direct source, their Instagram, their live, or their podcast. So that's why, that's what I mean. Like, people used to have exclusive jobs. Job markets and job categories are dying, or they're merging into other ones. So now, as an artist, to build your fan base, you need to have a direct connection to your fans. How do you have a direct connection to your fans? Have yourself a platform to speak to them, to speak directly to them, to issue out, to promote music, to promote projects, to promote whatever you're trying to promote, in order to market yourself, to sell whatever you're trying to sell, to connect with the people you're trying to connect with. So that's where now you got Yachty is like one of the first ones, like one of the first artists I seen actually have a podcast and still be actively rapping at a high level. Like, I'm a contemporary rap artist. You know what I mean? Fashion industry is dying because of the same thing. Look at Tyler the Creator. Look at Tyler the Creator. Look at Kanye West. They're ditching the cosign and just opening their own shit based off their own name and their own imagery. You know what that does to all the other little major brands that would used to hit up Tyler the Creator. Now they can only do partnerships. They can't own their likeness. They can't be like, yo, we giving Tyler the Creator $5 million and he's gonna put out like a whole clothing line under us. We're gonna take most of the profits, and he already got his $5 million and he's obligated by contract to do this and this and this and that and promote for this amount of years. So now that don't happen no more. And Tyler the Creator is only doing partnerships. Now they have to pay that amount of money and hope that they can get it back through Tyler the Creator's audience, because his audience is happy to see him wearing Converse with his name on the side of it. Same with Kanye. Adidas is mad. They're like, yo, how are we gonna move the rest of these Yeezys and everything? It's like, nigga, that's your problem. I already did my job. I put my stamp on it, and that's it. I got a new brand. I'm separated from you guys, and now I got my own, and I'm selling direct to consumer. Holla at your boy. So they're like, yo, let's mess with him. Let's mess with his accounts. Let's jump on his wave. Let's do something. So we need to get this money. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. As people become more independent and more innovative in their approach to, and more direct with their consumers and the people that rock with them, big companies suffer. So that's what's happening. You got NBA players that are still playing in the league doing podcasts because they understand that it's important to have a fan base. No fan base means that you fade into obscurity when after your career is over. You know how many NBA champions disappear after the NBA doesn't have to promote them no more? And it's hard for them to get money. They walk around just giants, and people go, who the hell is that old dude? Oh, that's Glenn Robinson. And you're like, who the fuck is Glenn Robinson? Oh, you gotta Google him now. Glenn Robinson. Oh, shouts out to him. So, building your own fan base is where it's at, man. And that's the new wave. That's what's happening on these streets when it comes to music and entertainment. Even with the actors, like I talked about before, I stressed it last podcast. Actors suck because they're coming in entitled. They come in thinking people are supposed to worship the ground they walk in, and they're not able to draw. You look at Rachel Zegler; she's not able to draw. She doesn't have a direct connection with a fan base. So when people put her in movies, she either got to be likable or super pretty, and as of right now, with the stuff that's happening in the media, she's neither. So she's not selling any tickets. So now what they gonna do? What is that gonna do with her career? She may be a talented actress and a talented singer, but now she's about to fade to Tubi movies. And she's gonna get a lot of Tubi movies just because of the simple fact she was in the majors. Just like Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors, he's gonna be in some movie. Whether it's a good one or it's not, or it's a low budget one, they're gonna be in movies. They're too talented, and they've been to the mountaintop. And when a player when a person is too good and has been at a high level, what happens to them? They just go to the lower level because the lower level is not going to be like, yo, you not good enough to play here or you suck. And you're like, yo, you was up there, you down here now. We'll take you. We'll put you in the movie. We'll center a movie around you and do whatever you want. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Yeah, everything's easier, but it's harder at the same time. Because now it's harder to build a fan base because people, even the fans, are like, yo, I can do that myself. I don't need you. Are you weird? I don't like who you are. I could do that myself. That's what everybody's on. There's a massive influx on that's going to happen on YouTube. Whether it's already happened or is going to happen, it's happening. Where people are running to YouTube to try to do content now because TikTok is over. Now TikTok is still going to be there, but when the bug hits or when the app needs upgrades, it ain't updates. It ain't happening. App's just going to die off like that. It's going to be glitchy and messed up. So yeah, shouts out to TikTok, I guess. But yeah, man. Um, yeah, the to build fan bases is way harder. It's just as hard. And it's apparent in people who were like, "Yo, sad that now they have to live stream," because live stream is building a fan base. Building a fan base takes days and hours and hella patience and hella creativity. You see all these guys, Deshae Frost, Kai Cenat, Plaque Boy Max. All these guys are sitting in that room for hours, no friends, figuring out, playing video games, figuring out ways to build their relationship with the people and get people to share their content so more people so they can get more money, more followers and subscribers so people can come on their show and they can rock out. They've been successful at it thus far. That's why I mentioned their names because those are some of the guys in the game that's moving and shaking heavy. But even people that are around them in their inner circle, like um, Zoe Spencer and Ty Lil, they even had a hard time doing the constant work of doing a live stream and keeping the live stream up. They just was like, F it, we'll just be a part of Kai's. There's a lot of work and it's easier for us to be a part of his cast than to do our own thing. So yeah, man. Yeah. The most interesting thing for me, man, recently, the Joy Taylor story, man. I don't know if you guys been keeping up, but she's a anchor on Fox Sports Net. She works closely with Skip Bayless, and she's been included in the lawsuit that he's recently acquired from a hairstylist that he gave employment to, and that sucks. I hate the idea of that, but the details of this lawsuit has just been hilarious, man. And I think the only one coming out of this lawsuit unscathed is Joy Taylor. Because you know what happens to dudes when you smash a girl that's at your job and something bad happens, you're going down, brother, and she gonna be all right because that's just the way it is. She's always gonna be the victim in every situation. So that's just how it's gonna go for all the other people involved in that situation. But yeah, look forward to Joey Taylor's new show coming out. Yeah, man, it's crazy because I thought Joy Taylor had it was didn't I didn't know Joy Taylor was like this. I mean, I've seen some of her previous interviews where she was talking crazy, and oh, she was very transparent, but I didn't know she was really giving the secret sauce out to how to move up in the industry. You know what I mean? So yeah, like in this clip right here.
Is that your hard work doesn't matter. What you put in doesn't matter. You could show up every day. You could get here early. You could leave late. You could put in years, blood, sweat, and tears. And if I have a better relationship with this guy, he's going to get the job over you. Remember that.
Can we just keep it a buck? If they're fine enough, if they're funny enough, or if their financial status is what you want, fine, funny, fucking money, you're throwing all boundaries, standards, all that shit you talked on Instagram about how you would never, and this woman ain't because women this and men this, and you're moving forward with this person.
And then, yeah, man. See, talking that talk, man. But yeah, it's crazy because I did not. I this hit it like a curveball, man. Yeah. So if you don't know the full details, the details goes like this: there was a hairstylist that came with Skip as when he came to Fox. He had a close relationship with her. They said no 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 intimacy between them had went on, but he gave her a job, kept her on board as a part of his team. Um, she has a falling out with Skip because Skip makes some advances at her, allegedly, and she says that they were unwarranted, and he kept pursuing. And then he got even more mad when he thought that Shannon Sharp was hitting. So then he fired her, um, not before offering her $1 million to do it to her. Now, you look at her right here, and that don't look like $1 million worth, but I may be wrong. Um, and that's no discredit to her, but that was you turned down $1 million. But I feel like she just was like, oh, I'm gonna turn down this $1 million and I'm gonna go for the ultimate bag in a lawsuit. Because if I take the $1 million, maybe they don't give me the full amount of money that I asked for, or or something close to. So let me refuse this and go for the bigger bag. Nothing really bad happened to her. No, nothing really serious. Besides she got fired, and only they know the reason why they fired her in detail. But she tried to record them. She didn't get a good enough recording to incriminate them. And then so she she put in a lawsuit that she had heard some other things uh, that involved Joy Taylor and other employees and CEOs of the company and different things of that nature, that Joy Taylor had smashed them all, was getting passed around, and she was banging it out and working the middle. But I ain't gonna hold you. Joy Taylor looks fire. And when I heard that, I looked at her pictures just to look again because I used to just not even pay attention. But then when I heard like Joy Taylor had came from being a bartender straight to working at Fox, I was like, what? Oh my God, she got that fire. She got that fire. I would like to I like to have tried some of that. Man. And she ain't got no shame in her game, so you know she's super nasty. You know it's fire. You know she know what she doing. She ain't got no shame in her game. You saw the previous clip, she's talking real greasy. So because of that, and then the fact that she's made it successfully for years at Fox, years in her position. Skip didn't even want her aboard. She had a meeting with Skip. He changed his tune. That's how fire her stuff is. She is putting it on everybody. She divorced her husband, and she never looked back, man. But yeah, that she's fire, man. She's fire. She's whew. what's his name described her well. What's the fat guy's name? I forgot his name. But yeah, here goes him.
I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
Yeah. So, yeah. You can see he mad that he missed that train, man. Because it was a train. But yeah, she fired, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, yo, these allegations ain't gonna do nothing but increase her morale. And I hope that hairstylist get all the money she wants, because she won't ever work in this town again. I hope she invests it well. Usually when people get that big old lump sum, they don't know what to do with themselves. They be out here, they blow it fast, and then they be back broke, looking for more money, or looking for another lick, or looking for another job. So hopefully she get all the money she needs in that situation. But yeah, man, I low key can't stand. I don't talk at all when I'm in on set or something like that, because I know everybody who knows you don't talk around hairstylists. They just got loose lips, man. Loose lips sink ships. Yeah, yeah. But I know it was fun for everybody on board while it lasted, man. They was in there. That Joy Taylor was working her way around the office, man. That Christ. Whew. It was a porno around there. I'm sorry. It was a flick around there, man. But yeah, man. So I'm waiting to hear the verdict of that situation. And yeah, Joy Taylor's still gonna have her job. I don't know what's gonna happen to Skip, because that's a heavy weight to get dropped. That's a heavy load to get dropped on, and most men don't return from that. Once you get those allegations on your back, man, and they got footage or got evidence of you trying to give somebody $1 million for the puna, you're finished, brother. Well, no company hire you. You have to start your own. But yeah, man. Yeah, that's it for that situation. But you know what? You know what's messed up? Because now, when it comes to that situation, now everybody's gonna look at all the other female hosts, and just be like, "So, what's your experience? What did you do to get here? Because you're pretty, but you don't really add anything. So what you do here?" Because none of them had no serious crazy takes. The only one that does is the one, I forgot her name. The one who, she's light skinned. She adds unnecessary information after every player's uh, after every player's highlight or something, or any type of new news with a player. Oh, he dunked the ball and he hit 48 points, but he also in June he also got caught a case, and you're like, what the fuck did that have to do with 48 points? So you look at her, you be like, why is she doing this? And, like, white dudes at that level don't be liking niggas like that. They know, especially they all part of that boys club where they do business with niggas, but they don't like niggas like that. They like to keep the system the way it is. Niggas is employees, not bosses. So yeah, yeah, man. That's all we got for today's show, man. We kept it light. We didn't go too heavy. Trying to stay consistent though. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and comment. And stay tuned, man. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on here, and leave critiques, pros and cons in the comments below, because I'm building. I'm building. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being transparent. And I'm doing it with no team. And and the more time and energy I put into the pod, the more money goes into the pod, the better things will go, and then you guys get to watch it manifest into something better. We'll come out of this spot, and then we won't be hearing noises in the background from the neighbors and nearby people. You know what I mean? Got their TV up too loud, and kids. So thanks for tuning in this week, and yeah, I'm gonna keep coming back, man. I appreciate y'all.